developments that occurred during the week at the global, African, Nigerian economic space. Let us begin with the current updates on the COVID-19 cases. At the global level, we have 4,696,927 cases, with 311,400 deaths and 1,802,271 recoveries. In Africa, the current confirmed cases are 78,808, with 2,642 deaths and 29,582 recoveries. In Nigeria, the current confirmed cases are 5,445, with 171 deaths and 1,320 recoveries. Let's give you some stories that occurred during the week that relates to the financial, economic, and international markets. The Federal Reserve Chairman, Mr. Jerome Powell, warned of the threat of a prolonged recession resulting from the viral outbreak and urged Congress in the United States and the White House to act further to prevent long-lasting economic damage. The Fed and Congress have taken far-reaching steps to try to counter what is likely to be a severe downturn resulting from the widespread shutdown of the U.S. economy. Mr. Powell cautioned that widespread bankruptcies among small businesses and extended unemployment for many people remain a serious risk for the United States of America. According to him, we ought to do what we can to avoid these outcomes. Still looking at the United States of America during the week, Treasury Secretary Mr. Steven Mnuchin said he sent the Federal Reserve money from a $454 billion coronavirus rescue package to begin lending to U.S. corporations. Mr. Mnuchin's team worked with the central bank since the end of March to launch 4 out of 9 lending programs backstopped by Treasury Department funds that were allocated as part of the Congress $2.2 trillion virus relief package. The New York Fed announced on May 4th that it was expected to begin purchasing shares of eligible exchange-traded funds with the so-called secondary market corporate credit facility in early May. India's Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, during the week on Tuesday, announced a $270 billion economic package to boost flagging growth as the country grapples with the impact of the coronavirus pandemic and weeks-long lockdown. According to him, this economic package is for India's self-reliant movement. It is for the cottage, small and medium-scale industries. Mr. Modi said this in a nationwide television address. The package, worth about 10% of India's gross domestic product, came as the country was set to mark its 50th day in lockdown as the number of virus cases topped 70,000 with 2,200 deaths. India is among the largest countries to have experienced a lockdown with a population of over 1 billion people. In the course of the week, we got economic figures coming in for some countries, and it showed contractions, indicating the widespread talked about recessions from the International Monetary Fund and World Bank. Don't forget, prior to now, the US and the UK have reported contractions alongside the Eurozone. So Portugal's economy contracted by minus 3.9%, while Hong Kong's economy contracted by minus 8.9%, and Germany, Europe's largest economy, contracted by minus 2.2%. Now to Nigeria. The Nigeria Economic Summit Group, in its updated 2020 macroeconomic outlook, gave us some excerpts and analysis on the developments across the global economy as it affects Nigeria and the COVID-19 pandemic effects. According to it, major economic sectors will feel the impact of COVID-19 from a sectoral perspective. It noted that prior to the COVID-19 outbreak, the economy showed signs of fragility as 10 out of 46 activity sectors in the country contracted in 2019, while about 16 of the 46 sectors recorded growth of less than 2% in the year. Looking at the 3 broad sectors, services, which remains the largest sector accounting for 52.6% of gross domestic product in Nigeria, the sector was a major contributor to overall economic growth and housed 3 of the top 5 fastest growing sectors in the year. Growth in agriculture intensified as the sector grew by 2.4% in 2019, an improvement from 2.1% in the previous year, which showed that growth by aquaculture followed by crop production were the key drivers. Adequate rainfall, which improved vegetation and continued support of the government to farmers, improved agricultural output in the year 2019. According to NESG, Nigeria's huge markets, improved oil sector performance, as well as government's interventions were not enough to trigger significant growth of the industrial sector during the year. Industrial activities expanded by 2.3% with coal mining, water supply, sewage, waste management and remediation, and crude production and natural gas playing major roles in the sector's growth narrative. Manufacturing sector grew marginally by 0.8% full year 2019 and continued to grapple with the perennial challenges of inconsistent policies, infrastructure deficits, poor electricity supply, and lack of policy direction. The NESG said, considering the impact of COVID-19 on the global crude oil price and demand, the oil sector in Nigeria will be the first and main culprit, as it is expected to display negative growth in the year. Lower oil prices and staggering production are likely to persist, with negative implications on the government finances. Other economic sectors and overall economic growth will be impacted. Drawing from previous experiences, contraction in the oil sector often drags overall economic growth in the country. In several instances, the contraction in the oil sector has resulted in the overall economic recession in the early 1980s, 1990s, and in 2016. However, NESG noted there are also a few cases where contraction in the oil sector did not lead to a recession, and this was largely as a result of resilience of the non-oil sector and the adequacy of external reserves. For instance, the oil sector contracted between 2006 to 2008, but growth in the non-oil sector averaged 11% and sustained the economy. Similarly, external reserves stood at $50 billion during the period. Unfortunately, non-oil sector growth in 2018 and 2019 averaged 2%, showing weak resilience, while external reserves stood at $33 billion as at April 2020. These factors, according to NESG, coupled with the direct impact of lockdown and restrictions of economic activities in some sectors, will result in poor performance of the non-oil sector in 2020. The Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria today emerged as the first professional institute in Nigeria to virtually carry out an investiture ceremony for its president. It was a historic moment for Mr. Bayo Olugbemi, who, after his swearing-in as the 21st president of the CIBN, assured the members, staff, associates, and stakeholders in the financial market and banking sector that his administration will leverage digital platforms to carry out the mandate of the CIBN, which is becoming a global reference point for skills and conduct in the banking and finance industry. Mr. Olugbemi, until his election, was the first vice president of the CIBN under the previous president, Dr. Uche Mezaya Olowu. Just to let you know that tomorrow, Sunday, May 17, 2020, Debtors Africa, in partnership with ProShare, Nigeria's leading financial information hub, will launch a first-of-its-kind premier, independent, searchable database of recalcitrant and delinquent debtors. The Debtors Africa platform is designed to bring unique analysis and information on debtors across the region. Join WebTV NG from 2 p.m. for the live stream of the launch tomorrow. And that will be all for this edition of the Week in Review. You can visit our website www.proshareng.com to get more updates from our news stories and videos. ProShare, Nigeria's leading financial information hub, has packaged for you a platform that gives you credible and reliable market data and analysis on the impact of COVID-19 on the global and Nigerian economy. All you need to do is to log on to www.proshareng.com/COVID-19 and you'll get all those details you need. You can also follow our social media platforms showing on the screen for further updates on our market reports. Don't forget, once again, tomorrow by 2 p.m., join WebTV NG live for the live streaming of the launch of Debtors Africa. Till we come your way again, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and stay safe.